Philadelphia news, team of my heart.
Sixers news and trade rumors are heating up, and you won't believe this one. Paul George's massive contract might not even be the Sixers' biggest mistake. Could it be that the real regret is tying their future to Joel Embiid? Injuries, a $248 million deal, and an uncertain future. Let's break it all down.
Paul George was once seen as the Sixers' final piece, the elite wing that could push this team over the top. But when that $211 million contract didn't match his production, trade whispers started swirling. Yet, the real question isn't about George anymore, it's about the man who was supposed to be the franchise cornerstone, Joel Embiid. Dan Favale of Bleacher Report dropped a bombshell. The Sixers' biggest regret isn't George's deal, but Embiid's contract extension. And let's be real, you've had that thought before, haven't you? The doubts, the frustration, the what ifs every time he steps onto the floor, only to leave it again too soon. A 3-year, $192.9 million extension on top of what he was already owed, locking him in at over $248 million through 2029. That's a massive commitment to a player who, right now, looks anything but durable. You know how dominant he is when he's healthy. That's never been the debate. The debate is whether he will ever be fully healthy again. This season alone, just 19 games played, and even in those 19, it's been obvious he's not the same. The explosiveness isn't there. The dominance, flashes of it, sure, but not for full games. And now, the whispers have turned into full-blown concerns. Did he ever truly recover from that torn meniscus surgery? Was this extension a knee-jerk reaction to his MVP season? Rather than a calculated move for the Sixers' future, the Sixers went all in. And now, they might be stuck. You saw the warning signs. Every time he stepped off the court grimacing. Every time he missed a game with knee management. Every time the Sixers collapsed without him. It's the same vicious cycle. Hope, dominance, injury, disappointment. Rinse. Repeat. But here's the real problem. How do you even fix this? Can you trade him? Who's taking on that contract? Knowing the injury history, are the Sixers locked into this? Forced to build around a superstar who might never be available when it matters? You've seen this story before, and the ending, it's never a happy one. And this isn't just about this season. It's about the years to come. Maxey is on the rise. The supporting cast has been shuffled. But if the centerpiece of your franchise can't stay on the floor, what are you really building toward? Another second-round exit? Another wasted year? Another round of what-ifs? The Sixers gambled on Embiid's health. They bet big. And now, you have to wonder, did they just push all their chips in on the wrong hand? Sixers news and trade updates don't stop. And this one, it's got the whole fan base talking. Did the Sixers make a mistake committing to Joel? Embiid long-term, his health concerns are mounting. His contract is massive. And the championship window might be closing faster than you think. Let's keep going. You saw the injuries piling up. The load management games. The moments when he looked dominant only for it all to come crashing down. And now, the Sixers are staring at a harsh reality. Their franchise player, their MVP, their generational talent might be more of a liability than an asset. Think about if this isn't just a one-time setback. Embiid's injury history reads like a horror story for a franchise desperately trying to compete. Knee issues, foot injuries, back problems, it's never ending. And every year, you hope this is the year it finally clicks. That this is the year he stays healthy through the playoffs. But it never happens. This season should have been different. After finally winning MVP, this was supposed to be his time. But instead, he barely played. And when he did, something felt off. The explosiveness, the endurance, the sheer force he once played with, it wasn't there. And then, the news you didn't want to hear. Whispers that his knee never fully recovered. That the surgery didn't fix everything. That this injury might linger longer than anyone expected. And now, you're left asking, what's next? Because if you're Nick Nurse, if you're Daryl Morey, If you're watching this season slip away, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. What if Embiid's best days are already behind him? Look at the numbers. The Sixers owe him nearly $250 million over the next 5 years. That's money tied up in a player who might never play 60 games in a season again, who might never be fully healthy for a playoff run, who might already be in decline. So what's the move? Do you build around him and just hope? Do you try to trade him knowing that moving a contract this big, with his injury history, might be impossible? Or do you wait, gamble on his recovery, and pray he gives you one more dominant stretch before it's too late? Because here's the truth: you've seen other superstars in this league decline before. You've watched it happen. And if the Sixers don't make the right moves soon, they could be locked into mediocrity for years. So, what's the answer? Stick with Embiid and hope, or finally admit that this isn't working, because time is running out. And if the Sixers don't make the right decision soon, their championship window might already be shut. You've seen this story play out before. The Sixers put their faith in a superstar, they build around him, and then, year after year, injuries derail everything. How much longer can this team afford to wait? Think about it. Every season starts with championship hopes. Every season ends in heartbreak. And every single time, you're left asking, what if Embiid had stayed healthy? What if the Sixers had built the right roster? What if they had made the right moves when it mattered most? But here's the problem. What if doesn't win championships? Reality does. And the reality is that Embiid's body hasn't held up. The Sixers are paying nearly $250 million for a player who hasn't proven he can last a full season. And if he can't stay on the floor, then what are you really building? Toward Tyrese Maxey is emerging as a star. The supporting cast has been retooled. But none of that matters if the centerpiece of your franchise can't be counted on when the stakes are highest. And that's where the Sixers find themselves stuck between hope and harsh reality. So, what's the move? Do you roll the dice and pray Embiid gives you one more dominant season? Or do you finally face the truth and explore the unthinkable, moving on from the player who was supposed to define this era of Sixers basketball? Because here's the cold, hard truth. If this front office doesn't act soon, the Sixers could be locked into years of wasted potential, years of disappointment, years of what could have been. And that's why you need to stay locked in on every Sixers news and trade update. This situation is changing fast, and you don't want to miss what happens next. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. What would you do if you were running the Sixers? Keep Embiid, trade him. Let's hear it, because this might be the most important decision in franchise history.